Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I wanted to do an I'm running late and I need to get out the door kind of video. I recently did a video that was out the door in 5 minutes or something like that. It was a lazy glam. It's what you do when you don't want to put in any of the effort. And that's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is I have to look good, but I only have 10 minutes to get out the door. So this was my like flash glam. It is a little bit more in depth than that one, but still takes next to no time. We skipped regular foundation and we went right to powders. So it's a little bit less intricate, but it definitely looks like you put in the effort. So when you're running late, but you still got to impress your boss, this is what you got to do. So if that's something you're into, make sure to keep on watching. And please don't forget to subscribe because I do upload twice a week, and that is the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So first things first is skin prep. I'm going to take a little bit of the Tatcha Silk Canvas, and I'm going to take that basically just on the nose and T-zone. This is slightly mattifying, but it also gives me a nice barrier throughout the day to keep everything out of my skin. And then for a little bit more mattifying, I'm going to take the Sweet Peach Mattifying Primer. I have only used this once and I really liked it. The thing with this to remember is that it is cooling, so it does give you this weird like almost menthol-y finish to the skin, but that does go away and that is natural. The one thing I will say, because I did kind of cheat a little, I did throw on a quick brow. Normally on an everyday, I don't actually do brows, but for some reason on camera, my brows look so much worse than they do in person. So I'm like, I have to do something to them. But normally I don't even throw on a brow. Then I go into concealer. On a regular everyday, I don't go in with a full foundation. I'll use like a powder, but I do use a cream concealer. So I'm going to take the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, which I have really been enjoying lately. And I'm basically going to take that anywhere I normally brighten. And I know this is going to look a little weird because I am going in with this with no foundation, but I promise this is going to end up looking really natural. And then if you want to like dot this anywhere you have a little bit of extra redness, you can. And because I do want a little more coverage, I'm not going to use a sponge. I'm going to go in with a brush just to blend this in. Then jumping into my Fit Me Loose Powder from Maybelline, I'm just going to take this and set down anywhere I put that concealer just so that it doesn't crease. And I know for fast glam, wearable glam, whatever you want to call it, this looks like a lot of powder. I'm very oily, so I do like to go powder heavy so I don't have to touch up as much throughout the day. And then on a Morphe M439, which is a rounded foundation brush, I'm going to go into my MAC Studio Fix powder. And I did kind of play around with this combo when I did a full face of powder foundation or powder makeup. I did everything with no creams, and I actually really liked how it came out. So I do like to just stipple and buff in circular motions all of this powder, and you'll see that I will take it kind of up to where the concealer meets, and this is what I'm going to use to take down some of that harshness, and it is going to cover up pretty much all of my redness. And it's going to look like I did a full foundation routine, but it's so much easier. Instead of contouring like I normally do, instead I'm going to go into the Medium Deep Mineralized Skin Finish from MAC. And I'm going to take that kind of on a larger bronzer brush, and I'm just going to take that and bronze up the skin. This is actually Brandon's setting powder, which when I'm going for something a little bit more natural and a little bit lighter in coverage, I will take this because it's a little bit warmer but a little bit lighter than my normal contour shades. So I can go in with a little bit more of it and get really bronzy without looking overboard, especially because I did not go in with such a super full coverage foundation. I just went in with a little bit of powder. Then I'm going to take a different brush but with the same powder, and I'm just going to focus it on the cheekbone, and that's going to be my contour. Sometimes when I'm going for something a little bit lighter, and I have mentioned this tip before, rather than go in with a completely different shade to contour, I will go in with the same shade but on a more intense brush. That way I get that nice defined bronze, but I also get contour, and it's only one product. Now, I used to be so anti-blush that it never made it into my quick routines, but lately, just because I like the way that it adds some warmth to the face, I've been loving luminous blushes. So I've been using the Luminoso from Milani, because I take it on that angled brush and I will kind of work it on the cheekbones, but I'll work it all the way up to the cheekbone. And because this has some luminosity, it kind of serves as a base highlighter as well, so that it catches the light, because I do go super matte. So by adding a product like this, you get this soft sheen to the cheek and it's a little bit less like dull, and everything looks just a little bit more skin-like. Now for highlighter today, I'm gonna be going into the Maybelline Master Chrome in Rose Gold. What I love about this is it is so metallic and it's so beautiful, but it has such a pretty pink sheen. Now when I'm going in super light and I am doing a luminous blush, it works really well because I can use this to highlight the cheekbone and I can drag it all the way down so that it serves as both a highlight and a blush topper. And then again with that bigger brush, I'm gonna dip very lightly into this and I'm going to really buff that over the blush so that I get this soft sheen everywhere. Then to kind of set everything down so far, I'm gonna go into the Flower Beauty Seal the Deal Setting Spray. The eyes are really simple, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start by taking my MAC Painterly Paint Pot, like I always do, and I'm just going to set down my eyes. Then taking a little bit of that same shade we used to contour, I'm gonna buff a little bit of this into the crease. Then going on to a slightly smaller brush, again with that same shade, I'm just going to build up the intensity on the outer portion of the eye. Then on my finger, going into the same highlighter we used on the face, I'm just gonna add a little bit of this pink highlighter to my lids. Then on a pencil brush, I'm gonna run that same bronzy contour shade on the lower lash line. And lastly, I'm gonna take that same highlighter shade and I'm just going to hit up the brow bone and the inner corner. So I'm gonna quickly curl my lashes and throw on some mascara off camera and I'll be right back. So mascara is on, and now going into what is currently my favorite lip combo. I'm gonna take a little bit of Buxom's Celeste Gloss and just place that on the center of the bottom lip. And then I take the Marc Jacobs Enamored, I don't even know what this one's called. The Enamored, it's like the glossy balm. I'll link down below. But this is in the shade Sugar Sugar. Now these are really pretty by themselves, but I find by adding a little bit of this underneath, I get a little bit of that plumping and cooling, but I also get just a hint more glitter. I do love a good gloss, but I love when my glosses have micro glitter in them, and this does not disappoint. And the last thing I'm gonna do is just kind of set everything in place one last time. And that's the finished look. So this is my I'm running late and I have to get out the door routine. This is something I'll do typically if I'm just genuinely, I have to look alive, I have to look good, and I have like 10 minutes to do it. Like right now, the little viewfinder is telling me that all of the footage for this entire video is like 25 minutes, and that includes me answering a phone call and me doing a whole bunch of stuff. So genuinely, it's only like 10 minutes of actual application. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.